And if you're having one of those dark days, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to feel that darkness.
If I start crying, I don't think I'll ever stop!
If you're going through a divorce right now, if you're going through a financial problem right now, if you're going through an illness right now, if you are going through any form of crisis right now, I know you might not even want to get out of bed in the morning. It might be that bad. Please remember this: crisis comes to serve the person who wants to use it as fuel. And you have a choice. You can be a victim and you can let it break you, or you can actually act.
My dad, Samuel, at the age of 42, he was diagnosed with blood clots. Later on in life, he was diagnosed with the disease diabetes, type 2. It was quite depressing. Having a strong father, seeing him suffer the way that he suffered. The last 5 years he ended up with dementia, and to see him deteriorate like that wasn't a pleasant. Yeah, Dad was on probably 14 to 15 different types of medication. Well, back in April in 2014, I ended up going to visit the doctor and trying to find out what was going on with me. I'd done some research on diabetes. I was warned that I might end up with diabetes, considering the way that the food that I was eating and the lifestyle that I was living. And I just needed to find out for sure from the doctor to see if that was the case. The symptoms I felt, the lack of energy, I was gaining a lot of weight, sleeping during the daytime when I shouldn't be sleeping. For me to work a 12-hour shift, I needed to intake a lot of sugar. So I was buying chocolate bars, donuts, drinking milkshakes, fizzy drinks, energy drinks, just to get me through the day. And being diabetic, I then went to see my doctor to get some blood tests, and the results that came back were alarming. And there were some definitely seriously changes that needed to be made. Sitting down. So the results came in. I had high blood pressure, my cholesterol was high, I suffered from gout, but the most alarming one was my sugar levels were at 14.9. Not knowing what that meant, I asked him then, what's 14.9? He said, if you keep going the way you're going, you'll end up with a stroke. So on the 29th of March 2014, I had my first blood test taken. The results came back. I was at 14. I didn't understand what that figure was until the doctor told me that an average person should be 7 or under. As you can see, I doubled. I was then put on medication straight away. I went home, I was depressed, I was frustrated, I was sad, I was afraid that I was leading down the track where I might not be able to see my kids again, or maybe one day where they have grandchildren and I wouldn't be around for them. So a good friend of mine introduced me to some products, and we got together, and it was at a difficult period of my life because we just finished burying my father, and he saw a way that maybe it could help me. My number one goal right from the start was to get off the medication that I was on, and I could see a way that this could be a benefit to myself and to my family. So Shay said to me, what's the worst that could happen? Take the products that don't work, so you end up staying on the medication, or take the products and it does work and you get yourself off the medication. So I started training I started taking the products. I started changing the lifestyle that I was living. I've lost 15 kilos to date. The products do work. I've got more energy. I'm not relying on the sugar or any of the chocolates, the milkshakes, the donuts to boost me. The products do it for me. My family has seen the changes in me. My kids have seen the changes in me. They're on the products. Reflecting back and seeing what my father went through, how he suffered and the pain that he went through with his health, I'm just wrapped that I've been able to turn this around so that I can be around for my kids and hopefully grandchildren. You scan over here and you'll see the results. The first one on the 6th of the 5th or 15th. You can see the results have dropped down, my sugar level, 6.4, 6.2. January of this year, I started the products. And as you can see, on the 30th of May of this year, I was at 6.0. And on that day, I took myself off the medication. I continued with the products. I then went back to see the doctor a couple of weeks ago on the 16th of the 11th of this year. And as you can see, my results will show that my sugar levels have dropped down even more, 5.7.